So there's this new dude on the block named darkstardude.mov. Now, he sure is a class act. He tells people that they need to own all the consoles in order to be classified as a gamer. Interesting. Now, he's anti-fanboy. I'm anti-fanboy too. But he doesn't realize why most people are anti-fanboy. They aren't anti-fanboy because they think that the people who are fanboys are just ignorant and don't want to buy all the systems. People are anti-fanboy because they're ignorant pricks who want to force people to spend their money in their fashion. You see, we live in something called the United States of America, and it is our right to buy whatever the fuck we want, and it's our money. You know, if we want to spend it on Xbox or PS3 and only want to choose one of those consoles, that's our choice. And for the most part, the average gamer only needs one console. Unless you're an extremely hardcore gamer who is going to actually, utilize the majority of the consoles, or if you're a gamer viewer like me, it's perfectly sound to own all the consoles too. I mean, my friend Adrian is a gamer viewer, and Harmonic sent him Green Day Rock Band for the PS3, and he couldn't play it, so he had to send it to one of his other staff members. Why? Because he doesn't have a PS3 to play the game on. That's just how it is. When you're a game reviewer, the game companies are going to send you a game, and when they do, you probably don't know what system it's going to be on. The majority of time, it is Xbox. And I'm not going to lie there. The majority of the time, that's the copy they'll give away. And it's pretty much the standard for the industry. So if you don't own an Xbox and you're a game reviewer, you're probably going to be a bit disadvantaged when it comes to getting review copies. That's just how it is. And that's just how it's pretty much going to be. So if you're a game reviewer, or you want the whole experience, or you want to get as much games as possible, I totally see the point in owning both systems. But what about people like my friend Clifford? He only plays about 5 games a year. His favorite franchises are, the Elder Scrolls series, any Rockstar game, and Halo and Gears of War. And he pretty much doesn't give a fuck about anything else for the most part. He likes Portal and stuff, but that's about it. He could give 2 fucks about PS3. He really doesn't care about any of the exclusives. He doesn't have an HD television or internet, so many of those features are not accessible to him. So, yeah, and he doesn't have the kind of money to spend $40 on a fucking Blu-ray disc over a $20 DVD. And, he has me as a friend, so if he ever wanted to play something like exclusive LA Noire DLC, like the console's car, he just comes over here and plays it, for the most part. This is how it goes. Most people do not need the power of both fucking systems. And these systems are pretty much the same thing. If you only could live on one system, that's fine. I mean, the Xbox has almost 4,000 games. It's the second biggest library of all time. The Xbox 360 is the second biggest library of all time, and is only about 200 or 300 games behind the PS2. Because the Xbox has a huge-ass fucking library, especially due to the indie games, and now Kinect Fun Labs, and not to mention Xbox Live Arcade, and the gigantic library of the retail that it has. It's a gigantic library. You could live off just the Xbox if you are a really hardcore gamer. It's not that hard. The PS3 is not too shabby either. It has like 2,000 games. I mean, literally, the only consoles that have more games than the PS3 are the PS1, the Wii, the PS2, and the Xbox 360. So it's the 5th biggest fucking library of all time. It is a gigantic library with tons of games. And literally, like, next week, there's like 5 games coming out. And almost all of them are multi-platform. You got Duke Nukem, you got Alice Returns, both of those are on both systems. And you got some Xbox Live Arcade games. I think one of them is exclusive to the 360 or something. But that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Like, seriously, those two games, Alice Returns and Duke Nukem, that's probably like 25 hours worth of game. And like 25 hours between the two of them. And that's probably going to take up about 2 or 3 weeks for the average hardcore gamer. And if you play any more than that, you know, maybe, I don't know, 1 week or 2 weeks, I think. At least 2 weeks worth of gameplay right there. So I don't really understand this mentality that you need both systems. Really, you don't need both systems, especially if you only game every once in a while. And that's what most people do, you know. They're not like me who receive a bunch of free games. They're not like other people who, you know, buy games every week. They don't need that. They have other sources of entertainment, or they have other things to do. I am a fucking broke college kid. You know, I go to college and I pretty much stay at home the rest of the day because I don't have any money. So, playing video games is my release for not having anything to fucking do because I live in the middle of the desert. You know, that's just how I spend my time. And my friends come over and we play video games and we watch Netflix. I watch Netflix on PS3 because it loads faster most of the time. That's just how it is. For me, having multiple systems is good. But for the majority of the population, the majority of gamers, you're really going to only need one system. I mean, really, that's just how it is. Yeah, I mean, if you have the option to buy two, and if you want, you can. But for the most people, you don't need more than one system. I mean, my friend Gary Button here on YouTube, he only needs his Xbox. He'll never have the need to have more than one system. And that's why he sold his Wii and got the Xbox. The Wii wasn't doing it for him, so he got an Xbox. And he's doing fine with that. He played all the way through Halo Reach and he loved it. And he played through Final Fantasy 13 and hated it. But that's just how it is. You really are stupid if you think you need to spend $750 in order to be a true gamer. Or $1,000 if you include Connect and Move. That's the current rate. So your entry-level position for a gamer costs $1,000 or $750, depending on how you see it. But like, if you add up how much I paid for my systems, I think it's still pathetic. I paid $900. I paid $250 for my PS3, I paid $250 for my Wii, and I paid $400 for my Xbox 360. And that's a fuckload of money. I did get my money's worth out of, you know, the Xbox and the Wii. I still haven't got my money's worth out of the PS3 yet, but, you know, I still have a couple of years with it. So I'll get my money's worth eventually. But still, you know, that's just how it is, man. You don't need multiple systems. You know, not everyone has an extreme gaming addiction like you. And not everyone is as bored and has as much free time like me. Alright? Calm the fuck down.